Hi, I decided to make this little video tonight to give some advice on what to do if you have a guitar with a high action. So, the action is the distance from the strings to the neck of the guitar. So for example, if you can see this, that's the action, the distance. This particular guitar has an action higher than what I prefer to play. Higher actions can cause discomfort in people who have arthritis or swollen joints or just, pain or bone spurs or whatever. But you have to push down harder on the strings to get them to make contact with the wood because they are so far away. And that can be very uncomfortable. It can be impossible for some people. Children should never be playing guitars with high actions because they are not as strong as adults to begin with, and for their little fingers to have to push down with so much strength, it's going to be very discouraging for them to want to play the guitar. Parents will sometimes tell me, my child is not practicing, and I have to tell them in a nice way, if I were your child, I would not be practicing either on that guitar because, it's hurting their fingers. So, if you are unable to get the guitar repaired, and in some cases the guitar, it may be so damaged that it can't be repaired, and you may not be financially able to buy, the dream guitar, a guitar that's comfortable for you. So what can you do? Well, there is something you can do, and I will show you, or I'll explain a couple things. Number one, you can put lighter gauge strings on. You can get the very thinnest, extra light gauge strings so that they're easier to push down on. Now, sometimes you may lose quality in sound because you're going to get a thinner sound with a thinner string. You could put nylon strings on. Nylon strings are easier to play. I love the sound of nylon strings, however, not everybody does. If you have your heart set on the steel string sound, you may not want to put nylon strings on. So, here is what you can do. You can get a capo. A capo is a device that pushes down on the strings. And I'm going to show you one more time what my action is, without the capo on. See how, the distance is? Wait, there. So you can see right here. I'm going to put the capo on the 4th fret, and it just pushed down the strings, so now you can see that the strings are much closer to the neck of the guitar. That means I don't have to push down as hard now when I play the guitar, these strings. So that just made it a whole heck of a lot easier for me to play the same guitar with the same higher action with the same strings on. I didn't have to change the strings because they are closer now. And as a bonus, for people with short fingers like me, when you move the capo up the neck, if you notice, the frets are actually getting closer together. See down here, how the distance is from here to, that's, pretty big distance. So you're stretching your fingers a lot further. If you have larger or longer fingers to begin with, that's not a problem. I'm just pointing this out to people with shorter fingers. But because the frets do get closer, you can see all the way up the neck, they're getting closer. That makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to play also. So if you are a child or you have a child that, wants to play the guitar, but they don't want to play the guitar that they were given to play, this is something you can do to make it a little bit easier. The capo pushes the strings down. Moving it up the neck makes those frets closer so that somebody with the smaller fingers or shorter fingers can play a little easier. And see, I'll even put it way up here. I have it on the 7th fret now, so the frets are even closer. So that's something you can do. So I hope this helped you, it might help you to save money from having to buy another guitar. But my main goal is to help you to be able to play the guitar that you have so that you can enjoy it and play it without a lot of discomfort. So a capo will definitely help.